Okay, doesn't this boat just make you want to go, oh yeah, I want to spend the next 3 years and all of my money on this thing. Yeah, I can't think of anything better to spend my money on. Because that's what it gave me. That's the vibes I was getting when I saw this thing. So here's my boat, guys. Basically, what I'm going to show you guys in this video is the first little part of the journey and all the progress I've made so far on my boat. So let's go. So I hired a crane, pulled her out, found a spot. Took me like half a year to just do that, but here it is in like 10 seconds. So there you go. The first step was basically to remove the old mast so that I could put a tarp on top. So I'm going to try and lower the mast today. And I was starting to get frustrated because it's been months and all I wanted to do was get it out of the rain. And so I just kind of yanked the thing down. I shouldn't have done that. I think I definitely learned from this. Don't rush things. Made a little bend, you'll see it later. But first step, build the old tarp. So that's what I did. I put some posts in the ground, ran some lines, put the tarp on, but the tarp gave me a headache and a half. We kept getting thunderstorms. Oh, this happened. And the rain just went and just destroyed the tarp over and over. It probably happened like 4 times. Maybe I'm a bit insane. Well, and then I built this really cool thing where you can lift the tarp when you want to work on it and you bring it down when you're done. Step 1, strip it, like dead naked, like no nothing left. That's what I did. It took me half a year or so. Just literally went on the weekends, part after part after part, remove, categorize, remove. It took a long time. Got the windows out, but it's done now. Everything's stripped. It's stripped to the bone pretty much. Nice. And now I'm gonna do a walkthrough. In this walkthrough, essentially we've got a before. You'll hear the rain the day or the day after that it got lifted by the crane, and then the now, which is maybe a couple months ago. This is all the progress I've made so far, and I have obviously my trusty crowbar. My trusty crowbar to show you the rot. There is rot, there's some good sections, there's some shit sections. The underside here is actually quite good. I'm quite happy with the underside. It's a nice glass. And here we are back, say, a year plus ago. There is shit everywhere on this boat. Like, there were so many things that had to be removed and categorized. And you can't really see the extent of the rot on the boat because it's all covered with panels and the rot's on the inside and everything, so it really all had to go. And, alright, we're back to today. Walking through, you'll see I removed all the panels in the back. We got the cross beam connecting the 2 bulkheads. And in the first hole we go. Here we are back in the day. It was just filled. There was a toilet, everything. It smelled pretty bad, honestly. But I had a dream. And switch to what we are at today. You see I removed a bunch of stuff. Like, it is naked now in here. It actually looks pretty good. And here's the full walkthrough of that hole. I just wanted to show you that quick switch first. Alright, we're gonna go around with my trusty crowbar and poke shit. So here's some straight up holes. I don't know how I didn't see this at first, probably because it was all covered. But some straight up rot holes, some squishy sections. There'll be some good sections you'll hear, but let's start with the squishy sections. That bulkhead in the back, good condition, nothing wrong with it. Let's move forward a bit. This center bulkhead, although I didn't tap it, looks good. Yep, getting a little better, nice sound there. Everything's pretty sound except for the individual sections that are rotten. Sounds good. Front bulkhead was removed when I got it. It had already rotten out. And stay tuned because I'm currently fixing that. Alright, back out we go. Now we're just gonna jump right back to the past. Just here it is. Before, out we go. Things everywhere, panels covering everything. Alright, back to today. Now this part is to show specifically the beam, the main beam. It is in good condition on this side. There's actually no rot at all on this side. However, on this side, we have some rot. But the rot is limited to basically just one of the 2x4s that makes this beam. The beam is super wide. It probably has 4 2x4s. Just one of them is rotten. Gonna look at the old hole on this side. This side's a bit more dark, but damn, son. This is gonna take a while. I was pretty frustrated. Okay, back to today. So that leads us into this hole, which actually looks pretty nice and white. But there are some rotten sections. Some dry rot, some wet rot, all types of rot for you guys. Okay, this bulkhead, basically the covering is a little squishy, but the inside, the actual like strong bit, is pretty good. So I think I just need to replace the covering. An old repair job. Some good rot here, like that is serious rot. In the roof on this section, I'm just going to replace the whole thing. You'll see it in a bit from the outside, but I'm just pulling the whole panel off. Okay, this bulkhead, real good on the inside, real bad on the outside. So the covering needs to be replaced. Yeah, there's a nice hole. This is one of my favorite holes. Some dry rot in there. Just kind of going. Okay, so this here evaluates the other side of this beam. So the beam is essentially like zigzag, and then so two pieces 2x4 zigzagged with another 2, and then there's a sandwich piece of plywood which completely like visually blocks out the other side, and then you got the same thing on the other side. So our main issue is that you saw before there's that rot, right? But the rot comes in. We don't know if the rot comes in. We don't know because it's like protected by the bulkhead. It's like sandwiched between, there's the bulkhead and then there's the beam and then there's the panel that hides the 2 parts of the beam. So it's like in the middle, and then there's plywood on top, so you can't actually see it. So it's just a complicated situation because I have to somehow get to that or see if there's rot in there, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think the bulkhead is pretty good overall. It just maybe needs a bit of covering work. Some good panel right there. This is a nice rotten section. You can see it, like visually. It's just kind of spewing out. Solid dry rot there. And, oh yeah, you're gonna like this. This whole bulkhead needs to go. It is squishy. Real squish. Oh yeah, this is a good part. This is where the mast fell and just poked a hole right through. Yeah, there it is. The extent of the damage, not too bad really, for what it was. Alright, let's evaluate the beam a little bit more. We're gonna have a look at the other side. So that bulkhead, as I said, is like encompassing. I'm gonna have to remove the panel on the top to actually see what's going on, which sucks because that panel's in good condition, but I'm gonna have to remove it and then put it back on. Alright, let's do a exterior walkthrough now. We're gonna start with the back section. Little pan. This piece here is just straight rotten. Needs replacing. This decking part, the whole thing, it's curved. I'm just gonna pull it off, fix the internal ribbing, and put it back on with a new piece, of course. And back here as well, same thing. It's squishy, bunch of squishy parts. Just needs to be completely replaced. All right, walk over to the front. We're first gonna start with a bulkhead on the front side. So here it is. It looks basically just as bad from the outside as it does from the inside. And the bottom part here, I removed the front panel. You can see right through. Obviously, we don't want that. Water's going to get in there when you're in the ocean. But it's in good condition. The top part is just flaky, but it's solid. I had to cut this out, like just straight up cut it to find out if there was rot on the inside of the beam, which luckily there's not at all, but it needed to be done, so I'm going to have to replace the wood there. Patch her up. And here's a little sneak peek of what I've been working on. This was a few months ago, so I made quite a bit of progress since. But make sure to subscribe because this is going to come up soon. My next video is exactly of just how I've done it. There it is, folks. That is our walkthrough. And the last thing to do, of course, is to cut the grass. I have to do this like every 4 weeks. The grass grows like stupid in Sydney. Guys, please subscribe because this next video is coming soon. And you're not gonna want to miss it because I am doing the timber work, which I've been waiting for years. Literally, it's been over a year. Let's go.